A little over a month ago, the city of Asheville sent 4 zoning violation notices to 12 Baskets, Kairos West, Firestorm Books, and the Steady Collective, respectively, naming these community resource spaces as operating unpermitted needle exchange programs and shelters. Todd Oglachaney of the city of Asheville described that the prompt for these notices was a result of complaints made to the city by residents, tourists, and local businesses. As a result, the city gave 30-day notice for these organizations to either come into compliance to the city or to end the services being provided. Large public response to these has extended these notices beyond those 30 days and has ultimately ended with the violations being dropped for Kairos West and 12 Baskets. However, the city still maintains its position against Firestorm and the Steady Collective. So today, JM Pro TV had the opportunity to speak with all 4 of these organizations, which we'll look at now.
Sure. I'm Hillary Brown, the director of Steady Collective. Steady Collective received a notice of violation from the city's zoning enforcement department on the 8th of August, and then that was amended on the 17th of August. The city chose not to revoke that violation, and so we filed an appeal of that decision on Monday. Since we filed the appeal, sort of our next step is to go before the Board of Adjustment. And that will either happen, it could happen in October, or we could push it back, or they could push it back, but we'll appear before Board of Adjustment and have a trial at that point. So we're gonna have some harm reduction teach-ins over the next couple of months. I know that a lot of what's going on is folks just aren't educated about the service that we provide. And so we will invite the community, in addition to city officials, in to hear about what we do and what harm reduction is. So Steady Collective is on Facebook and is on Instagram, and we also have a website, thesteadycollective.org. We also have a GoFundMe campaign right now where we're posting regular updates, and you can find that GoFundMe campaign on our social media or a link on our homepage on our website. And we are needing funds right now because we did lose a county contract as the result of this NOV, and we also have legal fines that when you file an appeal, it's about $800. So both Firestorm and Steady Collective had to file separate appeals on Monday. So it's $800 a piece. So we are incurring some cost and we need help covering that. So check out our GoFundMe campaign for updates and also to donate.
Hi, my name's Liberty Valance. I'm a long-running member of the Firestorm Collective, which operates this 10-year-old cooperative. So the city of Asheville recently issued a notice of violation to our bookstore under the premise that we are operating an unpermitted shelter. We're not a shelter, we're a bookstore, and we don't operate like a shelter. The city's designation seems absurd. It's based on our hosting 150 minutes of community outreach and education with the Asheville Steady Collective. So this week we filed an appeal with the city of Asheville contesting the designation of our bookstore as a shelter. We are currently running a GoFundMe campaign to raise money for Steady Collective and for a legal defense fund so that we can pursue the appeals process. We've been told that that process could take 12 to 18 months, and costs associated with that process could be as high as $10,000. We're also, on behalf of our bookstore, asking people who support our hosting of community content, which we do throughout the week. In the first 8 months of the year, we hosted about 1,000 hours of free community programming. And for folks who want to support that, we have a community sustainers program, which we would encourage people to take a look at and join. It's a very low cost and it helps to underwrite all of the free community content that we do here, including the event each week with Steady Collective.
All right, so we're here at 12 Baskets today, and just after a month since the city put in notifications of a city violation, understood that there's been a meeting since then and that the charges have dropped. I wonder if you all could describe what that process has looked like.
I don't know much about the process.
We're very happy.
I am happy to be back. I was serving here from almost beginning, and this is like second home to me. I just love it. And I was gone most of the summer and just came back. I am happy I came back to 12 Baskets Open. Yeah.
So although the charges have been dropped, I guess, or the violation notices have been dropped for this space, and operations can continue on, it sounds like there's still issues experienced upstairs with the city at this point. What do you hope to see happen for 12 Baskets coming up in the future, and how can people kind of be in solidarity and support what's happening here and upstairs?
So at 12 Baskets, of course, we meet here at Kairos West Community Center, and 12 Baskets is a program of Asheville Poverty Initiative, and our goal and the reason that the cafe exists is to provide an alternative social space for people from all walks of life to come in, sit down, eat a meal, and get to know each other. Because we really believe that when we get to know each other and we learn each other's names in the context of stories, we reduce the fear that exists by the distortion and the stereotypes of the other. And because we've got more and more visibility of folks from all walks of life here in West Asheville, we actually celebrate that and recognize it's an opportunity for us to come together to try and fill the gaps that exist for anyone who is having to go without.
Yes, I totally agree with Shannon. This atmosphere of fear and, not in my art and all of it. We are all in it together, no matter who you are, how tall or short you are. And I say it, this is not from me, that's from my meditation teacher. Everybody one has some shit, not, some is bigger, some is. So don't judge, that's another good. Don't judge, step in, be friendly, be kind. Okay?
I agree with both of you, and I think that it's really important for people, even with a lot of privilege, to come here. I think it's most important for them because of this idea of a distortion and stereotype comes from them, that comes from this fear of not knowing the other, and they separate each other and call people that are of privilege necessarily as the other. And if they come here and understand that, then maybe those people with more financial power, more political power can do something with that, and they can understand people, and we can look at each other as equals, because that's all that we are. So
Has there been a need to change anything in order to come into compliance, or did the city just drop the charges altogether?
So what really happened is we provided information to the city about who we are and what we're doing, that we are not operating as a homeless shelter. Kairos West is a community center, and we are one of the many nonprofits that use this space. And they were able to recognize that we are operating as a community center, and that this is the service that we provide in 12 Baskets is not a soup kitchen. It is a cafe that is open to the public, and we encourage people from all socioeconomic realities to come in and get to know each other. We joke around here and we talk about the food being the hook that brings people in, and the table being the ultimate equalizer. And we really do believe, and I am one of those who have witnessed and experienced the benefits of getting to know my neighbors. I feel much more safer in West Asheville walking on the sidewalks and pulling up to the intersection, because odds are I'm going to know who that is, and we can engage in a conversation that allows for both of us to feel named and seen, and that we belong, instead of avoiding one another or having some kind of awkward interaction that just feeds and enables the stereotypes that exist that divide us.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I made some best friends here in 12 Baskets, both between volunteers and the people who come to eat. Yeah.
I wonder, new to the conversation, I wonder, would you like to add any words to?
I don't know exactly what you all have been talking about, but I'm pretty upset that Firestorm Cafe is being basically harassed, in my opinion. The Steady Collective does not store anything there. They're helping with the opioid crisis. And I just don't understand why they're being accused of having a homeless shelter, because it's not true at all.
I wonder if for viewers who are interested in supporting 12 Baskets or Firestorm, could you give one more time some of the information of how people can come and be supportive?
Sure. For 12 baskets, we want you to just come and eat. Come on over and sit down and share a meal. And I think next steps become pretty apparent once you get to know our neighbors. For Firestorm and Steady Collective, because they are in the appeal process, whereas before City Council was not in the mix, it will go before the Board of Adjustments, and then ultimately City Council will decide whether to address it in appeal. So if there are any connections or if anyone knows anybody on City Council, reach out to them and find out where they stand on this and help provide education. Thirdly, Firestorm and Steady Collective are doing a crowdsource funding to help with the legal expenses that they have. Steady Collective lost their Buncombe County contract, which is hurt significantly. So anybody that is willing or able to give financially, that would go a long way in helping them help all of us recognize the vital resource that they provide.
And the times to come eat?
11 to 1, Monday through Friday. Yeah. And come, sit down and talk. You learn some amazing information, like how to make your own bike in this city, or lots of interesting stuff from people. Yeah, how to make bamboo flutes, another thing. Sharing resources. That's all we are about. Yeah.
I've definitely gotten a lot of history lessons while I've been here from people of past generations, so it's awesome to learn from people. Honestly, I get more of a history lesson here than I've gotten in high school, so I can guarantee that, a good history lesson.
Great.
Also, 12 Baskets does accept donations as well.
And I think we are in need of some towels right now. Yeah.
Well, thank you all so much for keeping this space open and sharing what's going on.